Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV with the Rude Man. We need to talk to Alphinaud. If you watched the last episode, it was the Crystal Tower that I did, the whole quest line of that. It's not the whole, it's just the beginning, because the reason why you have to do all of that is because later expansions, the Crystal Tower becomes part of the story again, and you needed to know the beginning. So there you go. We're going to go talk to Alphinaud. I missed a little portion here. They're talking about Doma. Well, like the rest of the nations of the Eastern Continent, it is ruled by the Garlean Empire. Given our visitors' unannounced arrival, as well as the state of their ship, I suspect that they did not leave their homeland under the best circumstances. Needless to say, I should be very interested to hear the tale. And more importantly, what they know of the current state of affairs in the Empire. Such information could prove most useful. We would be fools not to pursue this opportunity. Do you not think? Come with me to Ul'dah, Roland. Unless I'm mistaken, and I am rarely, we will find the Domans bickering with a sultan sworn on the royal promenade. You are uncertain of your role in the proceedings. Well, insurance. If our guests are not themselves imperial agents, it seems fair to assume that they may be being pursued by some, and if not, who better than you to have on hand in the event of an unforeseen diplomatic incident? Besides, I do so enjoy your sparkling repartee. Satisfied? Good. I shall see you in Ul'dah. Off to Ul'dah. It matters not how many times you ask. Without the necessary permission, none shall pass. Pray understand, good sir, we have not the leisure to lodge a formal petition. Time is of the essence. All I ask is that you summon your superior. Allow me to plead my case. Surely you can grant us at least that small kindness. Away with you, and darken these doors no longer. I will not ask again. You know not what you do. I gather your pleas fell upon deaf ears. A loyal man with a cold heart. I know his kind well. I hope that you will find me more to your liking. Alphinaud Lavalier at your service. A friend. Which I believe makes me very nearly unique in this part of the world. Few indeed are your allies in Ul'dah, yet you will need some if you wish to endear yourselves to the wealthy and the powerful. Pray, join me and my associate at the quicksand. There you may explain your situation to us, and we shall see if there is aught we can do to help.
We have traveled some several thousand miles across the sea from the nation of Doma, in hopes that we might find sanctuary in these lands.
Sanctuary, Lady Yugiri?
Aye. Lying within Othard, Doma was under the dominion of the Garlean Empire, as I'm sure you are aware. When the War of Succession broke out in Garlemald, we espied an opportunity to free ourselves from the yoke of imperial oppression and took up arms. Only to be crushed. And so I gathered what few Domans escaped the reckoning and guided them hither to your shores.
A war of succession? Then the Emperor... Forgive me. You said that Doma was under Imperial rule, did you not?
Doma is gone. Razed to the ground as an example to the other provinces.
12 have mercy. And your people?
On a ship anchored in Vesper Bay, flying borrowed colors. Many were complicit in the rebellion, or akin to those who were. They will not come ashore until I send word that it is safe to do so. I sought an audience with your rulers, but was summarily refused.
The lords of Ul'dah are not wont to entertain foreign refugees without suitable encouragement.
Mayhap I was foolish to expect otherwise, but our supplies run low and we have young ones in urgent need of care. I have seen the tents outside the gates, however. We are not the first to seek asylum, nor will we be the last.
Be that as it may, Ul'dah is no friend to Garlemald. Your tale would stir the hearts of many men and women here. The Sultana and the Syndicate will not be so easily swayed, but I shall see that you are granted an opportunity to plead your case.
This is within your power?
Well, far be it from me to boast, but I do have the ear of certain influential individuals.
I am in your debt.
Lady Yugiri, forgive me for observing, but your choice of attire seems like to evoke feelings of mistrust.
Men are wont to fear the unfamiliar. We know this from experience. We seek only to spare the people of Ul'dah unnecessary disquiet.
I shall defer to your experience, then.
I thank you for your understanding.
It seems I have urgent business with the Flame General. I leave our guests in your capable hands.
What am I supposed to do with them? Well, let's at least talk to him. We can do that much. If I may, sir, as I said earlier, we have been at sea for some several moons, and our supplies are all but spent. I have not the heart to repeat the tales of our tribulations, nor would it please you to listen to them, I think. Suffice it to say, however, sacrifices have been made. Though it shames me to beg for more when you are already offered so much, desperation compels me, gentle sir. If you or your associates could spare any provisions, anything at all, it would go a long way to lessen the suffering of my people. Well, let's talk to the innkeeper here. She's got a kind heart. Hells! Why didn't you say so sooner, Roland? Of course I'll help. You couldn't have picked a better day, to tell the truth. A wealthy merchant and his entourage were due to have a banquet here on the morrow. But just sent word that they can't come, meaning I've got a boatload of foodstuffs and no one to feed. Best of all, they've already paid for it. Go on and call Fridrith and Catherine at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Tell them I said to ship the little prince's order to the Waking Sands. Oh, and if they argue, just show them those letters. That should set them straight. All right, let's go do that. Not this door. Nor that door. I think it's this one. Tradecraft merchant. She's in the business of feeding refugees now? I ain't normally one to question Miss Momodi's judgment, but it doesn't seem wise to me. Yeah, but it's not your business. I'll not speak for the children, but if you ask me, any man what can't earn a crust deserves to go hungry. Well, you're jumping to conclusions. You have no idea what they can do. Or what they're willing to do. My, that's a rather odd request. Mayhap you misheard her instructions. You know, you shouldn't encourage them like this. They'll start to expect it. You mark my words. Well, you know, they could be speaking from experience. They could have been, you know, because there's a lot of people around here that are hungry and there's no work, whether they want to or not. They didn't give you any trouble, did they? Well, good. Now, go and tell Lady Yugiri it's all in hand. I dared not hope, much less expect it. Mistress Momodi is generous indeed. I shall be sure to thank her most humbly. Lady Yugiri, I briefed the Flame General on your situation. I think you will be pleased with his reply. We have been granted an audience? Before the Sultana and the Syndicate both, we should return to the Royal Promenade at once. You have done much for us, Master Alphanod. I swear we shall return the favor. Naught is owed, Lady Yugiri, for naught has been given. This small favor you fairly won with your words, and it is with words that you must win the favor of the Syndicate. Then I shall choose them with care. You will be accompanying us, yes? Good. Your presence may serve to remind the Syndicate of the true meaning of philanthropy, and that nothing so unpalatable will be required of them, assuming that the Domans are willing to earn their keep. Come, the Flame General awaits us on the Royal Promenade. A pleasure, Lieutenant Painter. The others are already inside. Let's not keep them waiting.
I, Yugiri of Domar, am honored to meet you at last, Your Grace. To mark this auspicious occasion, I should like to present to you the finest treasures our humble nation has to offer. Alas, the circumstances which have brought me here today have divested me of both time and dignity. I come before you as a pauper in direst need of aid, to request that you grant my people asylum.
I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, welcome you to our city. Be at ease, Lady Yugiri. Although I myself have heard the tale of your misfortune, I would ask that you recount it once more for the benefit of the others here present.
As you wish, Your Grace. For many years, my nation, Domar, suffered under the yoke of imperial rule, and my people yearned to be free. Thus, when a war of succession broke out in Garlemald, we sought to take advantage of the chaos and reclaim our liberty. Alas, our enemy proved less preoccupied than we had hoped, and our rebellion was put down in the most brutal fashion.
Those who survived, how many do they number?
More than 200 souls huddle within the cramped confines of our own galleon's hold. Yet this figure accounts for but one of a number of ships which escaped the purge. It is my hope that you will allow us all to dwell within your walls. Should that prove unfeasible, however, I humbly ask that you accept as many of my people as your resources allow. Pray understand, we do not beg a boon, but propose instead an arrangement. We would serve as soldiers or tradesmen until our debt is repaid.
What are the Syndicate's opinions on this matter?
I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Lady Ugiri and her people strike me as an industrious lot, and there are parts of the city which have yet to be fully restored. If they are willing to work, I see no reason not to let them.
The head of the Mirage Trust is not known for his generosity. He sees profit in this.
I agree. That said, these are foreign refugees. To admit them would require a formal resolution. Shall we call a vote?
The law is the law.
Lord Lolorito?
Tell me, are you blind or willfully ignorant? Even now, our streets are choked with the displaced victims of the Calamity and Alamigan refugees. They live hand to mouth, subsisting on aid provided by the immortal flames, the cost of which grows ever higher. The wealth of Ul'dah is not without limits, my friends. And need I remind you that these refugees are prone to violence and criminal activity? You have all read the reports, I think. Without homes or employment, it is only a matter of time before men grow desperate and take that which they imagine has been unjustly denied them. Yet, knowing this, you would have us swell their ranks. Mayhap you think the brass blades and the flames are not hard-pressed enough?
Some say the chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company passes Gil thrice daily. This may explain how he came to be the wealthiest man in Ul'dah. Or it may simply be that he's ruthless beyond reckoning.
Surely the Sultanate can support the few hundred domins Lady Ugiri represents. That our resources have been taxed, I do not deny. But we are hardly in danger of financial collapse. I move that an exception be made.
An exception, Your Grace? I am suddenly reminded of a similar debate some years ago regarding a number of Alamigan refugees, if memory serves. What were your words that day? Yes, the law is the law, and so our visitors remained in Little Alamigo. Mayhap our wise and benevolent Sultana would be so good as to enlighten us as to which other of our laws should not be upheld.
Mind your tongue, Lolorito.
My lord, I share your concern for the welfare of our great nation, but we must endeavor to take a longer view. You know as well as I that people can be a resource still more precious than Gil.
Precious or not, they were never yet so reliable. And unlike those who frequent your establishment, I have no desire to gamble with my future. Ul'dah's greatest asset is, and has ever been, her material wealth. We risk this at our peril. One need only look to Teleji Adeleji's example for evidence of the danger in allowing sentiment to dictate policy. How far the vaunted Mirage have fallen, both in repute and profitability, since he began employing refugees.
How I choose to conduct my affairs is not your concern, my lord.
A proposal has been tabled. Given its urgency, I move we forego further debate and call a vote. To accept the Doman refugees or not. Those in favor, I bid you remain. Those opposed, I bid you leave.
Would that it were within my power to welcome you and your people, Lady Yugiri. As you have observed, however, my authority in such matters is regrettably limited. Without the consent of the Syndicate, I cannot act.
I understand, Your Grace, and I appreciate all that you have done on our behalf.
The nerve of the man! If that bastard had not forsaken the eastern trade route, little Alamigo would now be thriving. Oh, that you should have traveled so far under such dire circumstances, only to be refused in this manner is utterly unconscionable. Pray, accept my sincerest apologies.
Now that the Empire no longer poses an immediate threat, they see little reason to maintain the pretense of unity. The Monitorists have grown especially defiant of late. Lord Lolorito most of all. But this is neither the time nor place for that discussion.
As you observed, Lolorita is not afraid to speak his mind, nor is he like to change it. Oft have I wondered how a man so skilled at weighing the worth of things should be so incapable of seeing the value in people. Bah! I will waste no more words on him. Not when the Domans are here yet, in a need of aid. Everyone follow me to the Hall of Flames. The Syndicate has spoken, and I see no point in moving that the matter be reconsidered. The Monitorists have made their position clear. Agreed, Ulda is not an option. Nor are Limsa Laminsa or Gridania, I judge, even given the state of their internal affairs. Which leaves our Doman friends confined to ship. Gods, the thought of them huddled in an airless hold with no hope of better treatment. Would that I had more time to find an alternative, a place not bound by the concerns of the great nations. Minfilia, that is precisely what I wish to discuss. I understand the Syndicate's decision. I do. We all wish to preserve that which is ours, especially when we believe it to be under siege. But I cannot meekly accept this judgment, not while my people suffer. Would it be out of the question for the Sultanate to accept us for a limited time? A week, maybe, or even just a few days. Excellent. I shall keep you informed. Lady Yugura, I have a proposal, if you would hear it. Out with it, Master Alphino. The headquarters of my order, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, stands in a place called Revenant's Toll, an outpost near Mardona. Like most outposts, it is frequented by merchants and other men of action, and lacks the comforts of more well-established settlements. However, the leaders of Revenant's Toll have been doing their utmost to change that. To that end, they have need of able-bodied individuals willing to work as frontier hands. Hard labor, let's not you doubt, but not save food or shelter by way of reward. Terms not unlike those which you yourself proposed, Lady Yugura. Though I will not hear a word said against our beloved Ulda, Reverend's Toll would offer certain advantages, the absence of unhelpful bureaucracy being the most obvious. If they can accommodate us all, we shall gladly accept. Master Ulfano, once again I find myself in your debt. Pray, do not thank me, my lady. The life your people go is in one of hard labor and few comforts, as I told you. And before that, there remains the matter of how they may safely be borne to Reverend's Toll, which will be no small feat, considering the distance and the present condition. Mayhap the Ulda Adventurers Guild can be of assistance. Look for me there anon, Roland. Lady Yugura, if you and your people would accompany me, we may discuss what aid the immortal flames can provide. We are concerned that the Doman's refugees may find the journey to Reverend's Toll too much to bear. Too long have they been sequestered aboard that ship with insufficient supplies and scarce room enough to breathe, let alone stretch their limbs. With that in mind, Mistress Momodi has kindly offered to accommodate the Domans until such time as they are ready to set out for Mordona. Those healthy enough to travel will embark as soon as the transportation has been secured, while those too weak to leave at once will be permitted to stay until they regain their strength. What news? Transportation remains our greatest obstacle, General. Is there aught the immortal flames can do? I fear that exceeds our mandate. We're at a small number, perhaps, but mayhap it would go unnoticed. But the Syndicate will not bear the cost of escorting more than 200 Domans to Mordona. When government fails to act, the responsibility falls to us private citizens. I will engage the services of the 77 caravans on the Doman's behalf. Very well. We should begin contract negotiations at once. Your generosity is most welcome, my lord. After all that has befallen these good people, it is the least I can do. Come what may, you shall ever have a friend in Ulda, Lady Yuguri. And you in Reverend's Toll, my lord. Well, it sounds like we all have work to do. Lady Yuguri, let's put our heads together and settle the details of our arrangement, shall we? I would entrust the task of escorting our Doman friends to you after you have rested, your own road-weary legs, of course. What do you say? As we speak, the Domans prepare for departure at Vesper Bay, whereupon they will be transported by carriage to Ulda. That said, this has all been decided rather suddenly, and it would not surprise me if the refugees required some assistance in coordinating their preparations. Roland, I would have you return to Vesper Bay and facilitate the process through tasks great and small. In short, whatever must needs be done, do it. Speak with a man named Hosen when you arrive. As Lady Yugiri tells it, he has been designated the leader of the first group. Yeah, who died and made all these people bosses over me? What the hell? Tain't right. There's Hosen. Let's go give him a chat. Greetings. Alphanod informed me that a scion would be arriving to help with the preparations. I'm honored to meet you, though shamed as well. A great warrior should not be tasked with such trivialities. I knew from a glance what manner of man you were. I too have some skill at arms, as do many of our people. Pray forgive me this trifle, but might I trouble you to help round up the children that have been given into my care? They are most adept at staying hidden from my sight, but perhaps your keen eyes will succeed where I have failed. You have my thanks, friend. Pray seek out my son Yozen, and he can tell you more. Hosen and Yozen, huh? Wonder what the mom's name is. Mosen? I'm moseying around. I guess that's moseying. Hey, Yozen. Oh, hello there. I'm Yozen, son of Hosen. Will you be coming with us to Ul'dah? I hear we're traveling with horse-bird-drawn carriage. But don't you think they're kind of queer? Giant birds that people ride like horses? I still want to try riding one, but... What's that? You're looking for the others? Don't worry, I already told them to get ready for the carriages. I'll need your help, though. We were just finishing a game of hide-and-seek. 3 players are still hiding, and since Lady Yugiri told us to take it really seriously, they won't move until they're found. But Vesper Bay isn't that big, so I bet you can find them. This is the hiding child. I'm Kahara. Roland Painter, eh? I didn't know anyone else was. Wait a minute. You're one of those stallions, aren't you? No, scions. Then you must know Lady Yugiri, right? Isn't she great? She's really good at hide-and-seek, too. Oh, right, it's almost time to go. Nice meeting you. What a pleasant little child. There's another one. I can see it behind the carriage. Are you playing? Ah, no fair. Yozen didn't say anything about adults. Huh? We get to ride a horse-bird carriage? I don't know. It sounds scary, but if Yozen says it's safe, I'll go. Oh, we got a Yozen crush, do we? Can't remember where the last one is. Oh, there it is. There he is. How'd you find me? Bah, I guess I need to practice more. Or maybe you're just good at this. I mean, the Garleans, they didn't find me. Well, I'm better than the Garleans. Well, so we could put on babysitting duty. What else do we have to do? Wonderful. All the children are counted. Hide and seek? Ah, I see that you are curious. It's quite simple, really. Lady Yugiri thought it best that the children know what to do in case the Garleans found us. I should hope that those days are behind us, but I nevertheless take comfort in knowing that we are prepared. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a break and we'll talk to Hosen again when we get back in the next episode. Hope you had fun. I hope to see you there. Ta-ta.